Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video News Now. This is an update to the previous video that I made talking about these articles that are coming out revealing that there are like humanoid, like aquatic humanoids under our oceans and quite possibly other, human-like species that basically you wouldn't be able to tell from your basic Norwegian or Swedish guy. But then there are other beings that, look more reptilian or, quote unquote alien. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be about. I went through and scoured all my old videos. So a lot of these clips, have been shown before. So, if you're someone that's been following me for a long time, I'm sure you've most likely seen a lot of these videos, but it's just to reiterate this this idea, or this revelation rather, that apparently the control mechanism has decided to start letting us know about. So yeah, we're going to talk about that, but I'm going to read this article here first. Oh yeah, and these are the articles from Reddit that I just briefly introduced yesterday, but I'm going to read all of these verbatim at the end. We're going to go through all these videos first, and then we're going to look at that. But this one I will read real quickly. It shouldn't take me that long. But then we're going to go into, you'll see this video here. You can see this craft. These people were sailing, and they saw this sphere. And another thing, I'm not claiming that any of these videos are real or authentic. All I know is that they're out there. You'll be able to see, the titles to these videos. So if you want to, if you decide that you want to do a search and examine them a little more, you're free to do that. So I also got this one here, this USO Bermuda Close Encounter with a diver. You see this object here. I know it kind of blends in with the rest of the background with this reef system, whatever. But this object here is actually some type of moving craft, and then this here is a diver that this thing swims around. So we'll look at that. And then also I have these two videos of these strange, these like alien-like creatures. This was spotted in Bristol Harbour, but this is some kind of luminous, like some kind of fish that seems to have the ability to produce its own light. Again, and this is not something that's completely unusual. I mean, we know that there are some of those fish that are in the, I think it's called the pelagic zone, whatever, or, it's deep enough under the water where the sunlight never hits. But yeah, and we know that there are creatures down there that can produce its own light. But this is one that was seen in a harbor, filmed by several people. And then I got this one here too. Now this one looks more, like a jellyfish, but same thing. I don't know. Oh yeah, this was in Bristol Harbour too. Now, I'm not positive if these are the same videos. Now, this was from 10 years ago, and this one's from. Oh yeah, these are both from 10 years ago. So I don't know. This might be the same creature, but just taken from different angles. And then let's see. Oh yeah, now this is this is one of those videos that I found on Reddit. And some guy claims that he's being chased by some strange sea creature. Now, some people have said that it's a seal or a sea lion or something like that, which it possibly could, but I just don't believe. Again, I don't know for sure, but I just don't believe that they can swim as fast as this thing was going. And yeah, here's another thing. For whatever reason, this guy put this text bubble right in the middle of this footage, and you'll see this thing jumping around, but sometimes it's hard to make out because this goddamn text bubble is covering it up. So we'll look at that, and also have these. Now these are 3 different videos that were taken during the tsunami in Japan, and they believe that they caught some kind of strange creature or something. On this one, I think, some of these are kind of hard to see, but I believe like right here, you'll see this object here, but you'll see something. I mean, some people are saying, oh, it's a cat. But no, I don't think a cat would be able to navigate around all of this debris, because this is tsunami, a bunch of water washing over some farmland, and then, like I said, you see this little white thing hopping around the debris. I don't know what it is, but there's 3 different videos. I don't know if they're all the same thing. Here's another one. This is during Japan's tsunami. A strange creature was caught on camera. And if you can see right here, right in between these 2 tree trunks right here, right? This white thing here looks like a wave, but you actually see it pop out of the water, and then you'll see it hop around the roof. And then let's see, and then there's another one. Oh yeah, now this one here, yeah, there's some kind of, oh yeah, right here. You see this white streak? Again, in this still shot, it's really hard to tell, but you're going to see this white streak actually come out again. And this is farmland, and this is the flood water from the tsunami. But you're going to see this object here, or this something, just like moving across the field. And then let's see. The last video is of this comedian, Tony Woods, who was on an episode of the Joe Rogan podcast 2 years ago, talking about seeing a Mer-Man while he was vacationing in the Seychelles, I think it's called, which I believe is in someplace in Africa. Seychelles, yeah, I just got back from Seychelles. I think that's how you say that. But anyways, we'll look at that. And then, last, I'll read these 2 articles verbatim. They're not that long, but, this is, I know someone that works for NOAA. The disclosure rumors are 100% true, and the species in question is aquatic. So there's that one, and then there's this one here. There's a reason NASA stopped exploring the deep sea. So now, yeah, this one talks about encountering these large aquatic humanoids that seem to be very curious and, checking them out. And then this one is talking about these gigantic cephalopods, which I think are like squids or octopus. And these that apparently killed a diver and destroyed some of the structure from this. I think it was like an oil rig or something out there. But yeah, here it is. Yeah, Montserrat oil rig diving incident. So yeah, I'll just read those verbatim, and I'll do that at last. So if you don't want to listen to that, you don't have to, because it's going to be at the end of the video. But anyways, if you appreciate the time and effort that I put into bringing this information to you, please give this video a like, thumbs up, please share it, and most importantly, please subscribe, because it'll really help me out with the algorithms. But anyways, let me real quickly read this article here that was in Planet Today, and this was in 2021. Now, I believe this is referencing, like I said, the 2 articles that I found on Reddit. But anyways, here we go. NOAA employee. There are highly evolved humanoid beings living in our oceans. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is a federal agency within the U.S. Department of Commerce. It conducts various types of meteorological and geodetic research and forecasts for the United States and its possessions, studying the world's oceans and atmosphere. In the light of recent changes to the UFO phenomena occurring in the world after the official recognition of their existence by the United States, we should look very differently at the disclosures that have been attempted by employees of various structures of America, which refer to the presence on our planet of a completely different, highly evolved humanoid species of beings. One of such messages appeared in the World Wide Web relatively recently, and this message even contained the personal data of the source with the indication of the concrete addresses of the organization where she worked. Then, many have reacted to this message skeptically, although everybody noticed the speed with which this message was deleted by the moderators of various social networking sites, who justified their actions by the violations of the rules of personal data distribution, although the author himself pointed them out, so there was no violation. It's worth noting that the author herself was no longer online. What happened to her is unknown. The Navy works in cooperation with the governments to keep this a secret at all levels. Other governments have similar control systems to keep this information strictly in the realm of fiction, according to public perception. I am compelled to break the silence and disseminate this information. My colleagues and the organizations I have called home for the past 12 years are responsible for silencing one of the greatest genealogical discoveries of all time. The department in which I work is being restructured and downsized, so I am about to lose my job. This announcement will likely accelerate that process. I received my MS in biological sciences and my PhD in wildlife and fisheries scientist, and then I was invited to work for NOAA. In 2012, there was an incident with several beached whales that NOAA and the Navy team investigated. Immediately afterwards, everything was thoroughly covered up. The whales were covered with perfectly round incisions from which large chunks of the flesh had been removed, like cylinders of meat. At first, we thought it had been done after the landings, but then we learned that they had been thrown ashore that way. What really caught everyone's attention was the scorched flesh around the circumference of the incisions, as if they had been burned out with a laser. We were all puzzled, as we had never seen anything like this on a sea creature. Then we got a call that a small team would be doing a hydrographic survey of the area with the local vessel's echo sounder. We normally use a technique called multi-beam sonar to scan map the seafloor with amazing detail. This data we collected is processed by various organizations and usually uploaded to online databases. We were told that would not happen on this expedition. In short, we found incontrovertible evidence of an advanced humanoid species in the depths of the ocean. Using multi-beam sonar, we located their habitat as well as what appears to be underwater vehicles. The creatures themselves were tracked by the Navy for 2 weeks using a submersible equipped with special deep-sea surveillance equipment. The creatures reached speeds in excess of 70 knots, faster than the sailfish, thought to be the fastest creature in the ocean. They were also recorded making sounds reminiscent of marine communications, and instruments also recorded emissions of precise sonar blasts that damaged the hull of the submersible, the Navy report said. Video footage of the creatures, including juveniles, is available. The Navy did not share the videos with us, but the officer I spoke with gave the following description. They didn't look real. They looked like computer animation or something. They have a glow around their whole body, and they move very fast. Even minor movements like turning their heads or moving their arm were like watching a high frame rate video. They don't look like any fictional image. They have no fishtail. They are fully humanoid, but very skinny. High. Their bodies were covered with a material resembling elemental mercury, which looked like it was moving. They were very interested in the underwater apparatus and seemed to know they were being watched, as several times they swam around and returned with new creatures. We observed no more than 5 of them at a time. They were different sizes, but otherwise looked the same. Yeah, it seems as if, imagine, a bunch of, or some white explorers, right? First encountering a village of Africans in Africa, right? And all the young kids, right? Seeing a white person for the first time, you know what I mean? Being kind of apprehensive, but curious at the same time. Anyways, their eyes were completely white, and there was no hair or any indication that they were male or female. No ears were visible, and their mouths were wide and without lips. We directed a sequence of lights, sounds, and even extended a robotic arm on an underwater vehicle to try and get some physical sample DNA from the samples or the water closest to them. We don't know how they swam, since they didn't swim with the current or move their bodies the way a fish or even a human underwater should. They were simply able to move quickly in any direction without having to change position or swim. In fact, during most observations, they simply floated motionless without losing or gaining buoyancy. In addition, their submersibles, some very large ones, were spotted with sonar. They were moving faster than anything should be able to move underwater. They were not seen or recorded on video, only on sonar. They were not seen or recorded on video, only on sonar. Again, some of these entities that cannot be seen with the naked eye. But again, are they consciously hiding themselves in the UV or infrared? Or is it's just that's the spectrum of light they exist in, and we just don't have the ability to see them with our eyes. Let's see. In addition, their submersibles, some very large ones, were spotted with sonar. They were moving faster than anything should be able to move underwater. They were not seen or recorded on video, only on sonar. At times, they would appear completely while being observed, as if they were leaving the water or camouflaged. At times, they would disappear completely while being observed, as if they were leaving the water or camouflaged. We have 2 weeks worth of data from that area alone. We have learned that this is one of many places around the world where these creatures live, hidden from view. One of many. The briefing I was able to read during the meeting said that the Mariana Trench is where these creatures are most concentrated, and that they seem to be completely unaffected by depth. Structures have been mapped which are presumably their dwellings. They were completely hexagonal and connected to each other like a honeycomb. Their composition is unknown. The Navy has confiscated most of the hard evidence. All we have is sonar readings, which are only obvious if you know what you're looking for. I want everyone to know this information. We are not alone, but they are not from outer space. To exist at these depths and at astronomical pressure, these creatures are either invulnerable or they are so far removed from us that they have technology that negates both of these dangers. This is being actively concealed by all organizations and our military. Other countries know about these creatures, and I believe that some genuine video footage may even be intentionally mixed in with fakes. The observations in Kiryat Yam were authentic. We mapped a cluster of their dwellings off the coast near the island of Cyprus. You know what? I used to make these videos, and I still have them. If you look through my playlist, I have, I'm sure I have a playlist of like unusual underwater anomalies. And I believe in one of those videos, I did find an area in the ocean or the ocean floor, near some rocks or rocky outcropping that did look like that hexagonal. This is here. They are perfectly hexagonal, connected to each other. I think I did find something like that. But anyways, so that's that article. Okay, so now let's get to some of these videos. Again, and because I've made videos about of these, some of these videos are incredibly hard to find, but I just went back and looked at my videos, and I was able to see the titles, and then just type in to do a search for them. But anyways, this little sphere here was filmed by these people sailing. But anyways, check this out. And you can see that this is definitely a spear, and this is or a sphere, and this is the wake that it's creating. But it doesn't seem to be any type of motor or control surface on this thing. Okay, so that's that, right? You know, and I mentioned this in my previous video, but you know, all of our recent or current paradigms, right, or models, and again, we've been taught is to really say if the planet were or occupied 5 million years ago, 10 million years ago, 20 million years ago. I mean, we know that planet Earth has been around for, they say at least 4 billion years, which, again, I think that's just a made up number. I'm pretty positive this planet has been around for much longer than that. And then you consider, the age of the universe, right? Yeah, you can't say that there wasn't any type of civilization, on this planet. Let's say even a million years ago, and then there was some cataclysm that just wiped out any traces of them. But we are finding some. But again, a lot of these academics and scientists and educators refuse to acknowledge this information, or this new information, right? I've said this before. I consider myself a reasonable man. So if I am presented with credible, verifiable data and evidence that contradicts my belief system, right, I'm not going to try and dispute the evidence. I'm going to change my belief system. It's simple, right? And I don't lose anything. But anyways, this is only a 49-second video. Let me see if I can go full screen on this. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to play this at the beginning, where you'll see where they are. I think they're in the Azores or something like that.
Sureste de las Bermudas. Un famoso documentalista prepara sus equipos interesado en sus misteriosas aguas. Se encontrará de frente a lo desconocido.
Real quick, watch this, okay? From the top right of the screen here, you're going to see this round sphere just shoot into frame. It's going to be quick. There it is. Let me go back. Let me just start from there again. So now you know where, right? You saw this right here. You see where my cursor is? Right above the diver. You're going to see this spherical object. Oh, there it is.
Este video demuestra la existencia de extraños objetos que navegan por nuestros mares. Pero, ¿acaso será algún tipo de artefacto o nave extraterrestre? ¿Podrá ser una sonda de reconocimiento alienígena? ¿A qué peligro desconocido nos enfrentamos?
All right, I'm going to play that one more time.
Mar Atlántico, sureste de las Bermudas. Un famoso documentalista prepara sus equipos interesado en sus misteriosas aguas. Se encontrará de frente a lo desconocido. Este video demuestra la existencia de extraños objetos que navegan por nuestros mares. Pero, ¿acaso será algún tipo de artefacto o nave extraterrestre? ¿Podrá ser una sonda de reconocimiento alienígena? ¿A qué peligro desconocido?
Anyways, that's that. Let's see. Let's go to this one here. Okay, now, yeah, this is this weird fish. This is only 34 seconds, so I'm going to play it from the beginning, too. Let me see if I can go full screen on this one, too. Okay, great. Here we go. Check this out. Okay, let me just see if I can stop it when it's here. Yeah, you can see that, that there's like light emanating from the light seems to be energized inside of it. And from this angle, it does look like a fish. Oh, no, no, you know what? I think it was like an octopus-like thing. Yeah, so anyway, so that's that one. And I believe this one is the same creature. Okay, this is only 23 seconds long. But this one is more, yeah, you can tell it's more like jellyfish or octopus-like. Yeah, look at this debris in the water, right? If this were fake, do you think that they would put that debris in there? Okay, so that's it. Yeah, you know, I think it is the same. Yeah, I think these are the same things. But again, you know, you can see, like I said, if you want to check it out yourself, here's weird alien-like creature spotted in Bristol Harbour. And then this one here, weird squid-like alien creature glowing in Bristol Harbour, which again, I think it is the same. Yeah, it's two different people. So anyways, so let's go to this one here. Now, yeah, this is one of those videos like, you know, when it was first put up on Reddit, it was immediately taken down, which is why I went ahead and filmed the whole thing. But like I said, you know, whoever did this, I don't know why they have this text bubble right in the middle of it. But now when you see it, you know, there is a possibility that it could be a seal. But again, like I said, I just don't believe a seal could move this fast. But anyways, check out this video and tell me what you think. See that thing dive out? Look at that thing. Look at the glowing eyes. Yeah, now, even if it is a seal or a sea lion, I mean, would they be this bold, you know, to like chase? Like I've seen hippos and alligators chasing a boat, but I mean, yeah, let's watch that.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
Let me watch that one more time. Let me see if I can stop it right. Oh. Let me see if I can stop it right when it jumps out of the water. Oh, missed it. I think it's going to come back around. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I mean, there's no denying that it does have a shape of a seal. But again, I would think that if these guys, I mean, these guys are that close, right? I mean, if it was a seal, I don't think they would freak out as much, right? Because they would recognize it as a seal. But the fact that they filmed it because they didn't recognize it, I don't know. Like I said, you know, this is one of my old videos that was taken down when I was UFO Video Addicts, and yeah, I'm sure some of you know my my previous channel was completely taken down. I had to start all over again. But anyways, let's look at this one here. Now, like I said, this was during the 2011 tsunami, and I believe right here. Let me just back this up a little bit. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. You're gonna see right here, right where my cursor is. Right, you're gonna see this little thing hopping around the debris. Look, you see it? Right, yeah, look at now it's on this roof. But again, I don't think it's being, you know, pushed by the wind. Look at how it's hopping around, right? And look at that thing just flying around. Okay, this is going to go in slow motion so you'll be able to see it better. Now remember, yeah, this is, during the tsunami. Here's all the floodwater washing across some farm fields or farmland. There it is right there. Hopping around. Right, and in the comments, some people had said that, oh, that's a cat. I can look at, yeah, I don't think a cat could make that kind of movement, that kind of jump. There it is right there. Yeah, there it goes right there. And then watch this jump here. This is a huge jump. Look at that jump. And then another, right? And then here it looks like it's flapping its wings. Yeah, now is it a bird? But if it was a bird, it would just fly away. Wouldn't it? Anyway, so that's that. Okay, so like I said, I have 3. And now I don't think these are the same objects. Okay, let me go full screen here. Now, like I said, if you here you can see where my cursor is, right? We have this green tree, and then we have 2 tree trunks. We've got a tree trunk there and a tree trunk here. And you see this, it looks like a wave, right? This white object, this is not a wave. This is something that shoots out of the water. So now let me just back up a little. I'm going to back up. Let's see, this is at 211. I'm going to back up 5 seconds. Again, watch right in between these 2 tree trunks. Right there. You see in between these 2 tree trunks. Watch this thing pop out. There it goes. See the thing pop out? Now, yeah, some people have said that's just a wave. But you're going to see this thing on the roof. Oh, no, you're going to see it pop out again right here. There you see it? Hey, look at it. Look at it jump on the roof. Did you see that? Let me back up in just a second again. Again, now watch right here. Okay, right in this area. You see my cursor? Let me back up 5 seconds. Okay, again, watch this roof right here. There it is. Right here, watch it pop out again. Here it is, right there. Look at that. See, that's not a wave. A wave is not going to climb up that building, climb up the wall like that. Here it is. Here it is. You can see it. And boom, it shoots out. And then up on the roof. Look, you can kind of see it pull itself on the roof, and then it disappears. Here it comes again. See this white spot right here? Look, watch it. Shoots out of the water and then pulls itself up onto the roof. Again, and look at how the waves seem to be pulling its tail. Because whatever it is, it can swim, jump, and move on dry land. And then you can kind of see that it's pulling itself on the roof, and then it just dematerializes. Like, what the fuck is that? Oh yeah, there, you just missed it. And then I believe we saw it again right here. I believe that, let me back up, let's see. We'll go back 50 seconds. Look right here, I think. Yeah, there it is right there. You see that? Right here. I'm going to back up just a hair. Okay, let me stop it right here. Right here, you're going to see this thing pop up again. There it is. It's like a mist. There it goes. right? It's hopping from roof to roof now. There it goes. Look at that thing. Right, so these are, these are new species or creatures that we just didn't know about. But again, obviously it's out there. Right, unless you can prove this is fake, right? This is called evidence. Anyways, okay, so let's go to this one here. Oh yeah, now this one, it's right here. All right, you see where my cursor is? Okay, this is the floodwater. This is the edge of the farmland. You're gonna see this thing move across the field. Now let me just back up a hair. Now let me go full screen. Look at that thing. You see it? You see it moving? Look at that thing. It's moving across the field. Now again, let me back up and you're going to see it come out of the floodwater. Let's see, 120. Here, yeah, you can see it. You can still see it, extending out right here. So let me just go back a little bit further. And I think this is it right here. Yep, there it is. Look at it, just moves all the way across the field. Yeah, you can see it here still. Look at this thing. It's still going. Still going, still going. Now it's curving around. You see where my cursor is, right? Out of frame. Very interesting. Anyways, yeah, I have no idea what those were, but that's that. And now let's see. Now this is the clip from the Joe Rogan podcast where this guy comedian Tony Woods talks about seeing a Mer-Man. Anyways, check this out.
Joe Rogan podcast, people don't believe me.
Oh,
so that's why because somebody told me not to mention mermaids. They said,
Don't mention mermaids?
I saw a mermaid.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
In Seychelles, Africa.
You saw an actual mermaid?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was a swimming person.
Really?
Yeah. And
how long ago was this?
I don't know. Ask Will Sylvans. It was
You think there's like a small population of mermaids that are out there?
But anyway, me and this little French boy, and they said don't swim in the lagoon after dark. Everybody's up at the bar, and so everybody's gonna go down. Everybody's kind of racing now. So me and him go down. Me and him get in the water. From a distance, you see something coming like a fucking missile, but it's going fast. And we both kind of stop, and then it turns and it jumps out of the water. And it's maybe at least 10, 12 feet long, man. And it do like this, and look at both of us, and go, oh, the water was only about this deep. Didn't make a splash or nothing. And then me and him turn the fuck around, we running, and everybody's coming down there laughing, got their drinks in their hand. We're like, no, fuck that. And the little boy, in French, and his mom is apologizing to me, saying he has a very vivid imagination. He said, no, bitch, listen, we saw a fish man. And it wasn't like a mermaid. Didn't look feminine at all.
Like a man.
A fucking man.
Really?
A fucking dude who said, get the fuck out the pool. Basically, it was like do you know Aquaman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did it look
he
like
didn't go,
a
hey,
fish
get out
person?
the water.
Did it look like a fish person or did it look like a human being?
It came out.
Did it have scales?
It was kind of dark.
Dark like a dolphin?
No, but he had, the back of him was fish. The back of him was fish. His head was humanoid, eyes about so big. Then, if you Google it, the lagoons of Seychelles.
Okay.
And I ain't the first person to see some shit.
Really?
In them waters. And the guy who does the horseback riding, you can ride horses. He said, "How old are you?" And I told him, he said, "You're from America, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "So at this age, pretty much if you see a turtle, and I tell you that's not a turtle, He says, you know it's a turtle. You're at the age, you know what you saw.
Right.
He says, people pay a lot of money at this resort. He says, yeah, it's maybe not a good idea to go around going, I saw a mermaid. And he goes, he's saying how long his family has been fishing in these waters. He says, and he's heard some things. He says, I've heard some things like what you say. He said, I've never seen what you say you saw, but it's not the first time I. Thank you. But basically, he was saying that if you ask me to co-sign that shit, fuck you.
Right. But
you're gonna be crazy by yourself.
So who told you not to talk about mermaids?
Nobody told me not to talk about mermaids.
You said that.
I just said that.
Oh.
Because I'm like, if y'all don't believe the code is bare.
You definitely won't believe the mermaid.
Yeah, and I think, he's saying that the guy that lives there that says, we've been fishing here, don't talk about it. Because, it's probably a tourist spot. And he probably thinks it's going to impact the tourism. But, nowadays, right, in the 21st century, in the world that we live in now, if you tell people that there's mermen in that area, you're going to get a lot more tourists now. That's not going to scare people away anymore. We live in a different world. People aren't afraid of things like that anymore. They would gravitate towards that. And, all of these influencers would most likely be out there trying to get footage of it. But anyways, let me give these two a read. This is going to be ending up being a very, very long video, but let me, give this a read, because like this guy says, there are things out there and we're just not discovering them. And even if people knew that they were out there for whatever reason, right, the control mechanism, right, the current control mechanism of our society feels like we don't need to know this information. So they're not going to tell us about it. You need sites like Reddit and people like me who aren't afraid to try and get this thing out to the public. But anyways, let me give this a read. I know someone that works for NOAA. The disclosure rumors are 100% true, and the species in question is aquatic. Edit. Please read this as a fictional work meant to stimulate discussion. In summary, it discusses an advanced aquatic species which lives in our oceans. And again, I think they're saying, read this as a fictional work because that way, it would get over, some of these diehard skeptics, right? If you tell them this is 100% true, they're just going to shut down. But if you said, this is just fiction based on, some truth, they're more likely to at least consider it. But anyways, it says, I know someone that works for NOAA. The disclosure rumors are 100% true, and the species in question is aquatic. I don't expect anyone to believe me, and that's fine. I know a lot of BS gets posted here for shits and giggles. I'm just sharing a story from a few weeks ago that I feel is relevant due to all of the disclosure talk. I have a college friend that landed a job working for NOAA in a pretty high capacity. I won't say more than that to protect their privacy. Around the holidays, me and said friend were catching up and they shifted the topic to aliens. This friend is very level-headed and we usually don't talk about stuff like that. It's mostly family talk and work. They asked if I believed in aliens, to which I replied that I'd like to, but we simply don't have enough evidence. Their expressions perked up and they said, I'm going to tell you something and I want you to take me absolutely serious. Okay, where is this going, I thought. They never seemed so intense in a conversation before, so I braced for some kind of huge personal reveal or something. But they started talking about the Russian submarine incident that happened not too long ago, where supposedly a fire broke out on board a nuclear-powered Russian sub and killed everyone on board. They said that was a cover story that Putin came up with for what really happened. The sub was apparently investigating an underwater base that is controlled by non-human entities. They got too close and the sub was destroyed by these beings. My friend went on to detail how most world governments are aware of their presence, yet keep it undisclosed because of the ramifications to society it may have. Also, because we can't do anything to stop or forcibly reveal them. They told me that NOAA has had thousands of incidents of contact with these underwater beings and that it's fairly common knowledge among certain departments and roles in the organization. They said they have witnessed video, audio, and physical evidence of these beings residing under our oceans, but it is kept under tight wraps by senior officials and whatever government sector controls NOAA. The friends said that the recent disclosure buzz is legit and had been carefully planned. They said they don't know exactly what details will be provided to the public, but that in general, it will be made known that there are other beings occupying our planet and that they are not from another planet, but have been here long before us, which is what I've been saying. They also said these beings actively keep us out of certain parts of the ocean. Apparently, their technology had advanced beyond anything we could come up with to negate their insurmountable pressure at extreme ocean depths. They are able to freely exit the water in their craft without displacing or disturbing it physically. They've been captured innumerable times on sonar, traveling at speeds underwater that is impossible as far as human technology or marine technology is concerned. They also mentioned a place called Lake Vostok and said a very large base was discovered there under the ice and that Russians have control over the operations there. My friend also detailed that they have been witnessed outside of any craft swimming in the ocean freely. They have been witnessed outside of any craft swimming in the ocean freely by submersible divers and cameras at the bottom of oil rig platforms. They are humanoid and resemble what most people would call the typical gray alien. Oversized head, large dark eyes, no visible ears, small mouth. It's not known how they breathe and move underwater. That's pretty much most of what I was told. They didn't give us a date. They just said it will definitely be this year, according to what they have been hearing. Apparently, this is going to be a worldwide disclosure, not a U.S. specific thing. I just saw a video the other day because, I watch these things and sometimes I don't keep track of, what video I watch. But this, I know it was a TikTok video. The guy was talking about how some software programmer created some predictive software that could, dictate the future, predict the future. And that this guy said that Trump was going to be on the Joe Rogan show. And then again, this was supposedly this guy made this prediction years before, when Joe Rogan first started doing his podcast, and before it blew up, or even before there was any discussion of Trump being president. But this guy said that, it was that Trump is going to be the one, or no. After Trump went on the Joe Rogan show, that a certain number of days after that there was going to be some UFOs sighted, like some kind of war, some kind of battle between UFOs and some of our military, and then a couple of the other advanced species that are sharing the planet with us. I know that's what the guy said. Who knows? But anyways, let me read this last one. It says, I am a former NASA scientific researcher. My division was in charge of studying deep sea life, both fauna and flora, in the world's oceans. Here are some facts. 70% of the world is ocean. The deepest part of the ocean is not the Mariana Trench. There's tons of underwater cave systems further down, some quite large. We have not identified every life form down there. Knowing these, let me tell you why NASA fired me and a small team of fellow researchers from the Oceanographic Division, hired completely new personnel, and switched to space exploration. In their defense, I had no interest in continuing my research. Before I began, I want to say that most of this division actually did study underwater life forms to varying degrees, but most researchers were not involved with the life forms that my team investigated. Therefore, no information about these events has been released to the public, at least to my knowledge. I'm purposely going anonymous here for many reasons, and the U.S. government would prefer to keep this out of the public eye, and people have disappeared for far less in my profession. Yeah, I hope, most people that I think are into this information, right, are into, quote unquote conspiracy theories or cryptozoology and all that stuff, they understand, or we understand, right, that for whatever reason, okay, there's certain areas of knowledge that is not meant for the plebes, right? Or not meant for everyone, not meant for public dissemination. Okay, for whatever reason, what I mean? Maybe some people can't handle it. Again, I understand, right? we have different levels of intelligence, right? You know, some people are highly intelligent, some people aren't that intelligent. But again, I just think based on your life experience, or your character, right, your psychological makeup, right? Some people just can't handle this information, and I realize I do understand why people in government are very careful about releasing certain types of information, right? I get it, but you know what I mean? Yeah, and I don't mind, like going and digging for it. But it is weird, when you walk around in public and you have all of this knowledge about what's going on, right? That 90%, 95% of the public is completely unaware of. Very strange. Anyways, let me see, where was I? Knowing these, let me tell you why NASA fired me. In the defense, I have no interest. Therefore, no information about these events have been released to the public, at least to my knowledge. I'm purposely going, whatever. On and off note, it's deeply tragic what happened recently with the submarine that imploded. I think I'm correct in my suspicion on what caused it, of course, but it's not what the public was told. Anyways, I will now detail a few incidents that I think the public needs to be aware of. Now, when he's talking about this submarine that imploded, I wonder if he's talking about the Titan. Okay, anyways, here. Case study 1, Montecero oil rig diving incident. I was involved with a study that was sanctioned between NASA and a private corporation to investigate an unknown anomaly. Metal parts at the bottom of the rig had taken damage from an unknown source, and a dive team of 3 was sanctioned to investigate it. The dive did not go well. Something we've never seen before was down there with the divers. We do not know much about it, but I can tell you what we do know. It resembles an extremely intelligent class of giant cephalopods, more intelligent than any other sea creature ever encountered. They are strong and carnivorous and extremely large. It's theorized they purposely damaged the rig to lure humans down there. It's unknown what they normally eat or why they sometimes decide to target humans, but it is clear they will not hesitate to eat us. The 3 divers that were attacked had little means to defend themselves. These cephalopods worked in unison, have extreme suction, and can attach to any object. Dive knives did not appear to damage their bodies, where in the past divers had been able to fight off Humboldt squids and other cephalopods with them. A second diver was choked by a cephalopod from behind as another created a distracting light display with its body, showing that they had an understanding of how humans breathe. Note, they can flash and take on any color as it suits them, unlike other squids. You just saw those videos, right? Interesting, huh? But normally they resemble a black-blue color, which is almost imperceptible at the deep depths that they live, and explains in part how they were able to avoid discovery. I wonder if that squid that was in the that harbor was just maybe like a juvenile or a child, right? Or that just got lost, and it wasn't a full-grown adult, and maybe that thing we saw is one of these. Anyways, let's go to this case study 2, USS Cyclops missing ship log recovery. What began as a normal shipwreck investigation has arguably become one of the biggest cover-ups in history. The ship's location has not been released to the public, and I agree that it should be kept secret. The beings that took the ship down should be avoided at all costs. To this day, the public does not know anything other than that a U.S. ship disappeared. Perhaps these creatures can be blamed for other marine missing ships, though we cannot prove that. This ship had a log that detailed the same beings encountered at the Montecero oil rig, black-blue giant squid resembling entities that work in teams and can use tools of human creation. These cephalopods engaged the ship at night in a surprise attack and damaged it beyond repair. They dragged down survivors, including many from atop lifeboats, using their tentacles. They left no trace of their encounter. They are clearly incredibly strong and can easily hold humans underwater, drowning them. There's a theory that they may have even derived pleasure in killing, shown by them flashing certain patterns on their bodies immediately upon taking of a life, although this is still just a theory. Thinking there's been a lot of reports of killer whales attacking small sailing ships. I wonder if they're blaming killer whales, or blaming killer whales is just a cover story. I wonder if it's these are are what's actually attacking those ships. Anyways, let me keep going. There are other incidents that I won't get into here. I don't intend to scare people by bringing this information to light, but I do think divers and people who are interested in using submersibles to investigate the deep sea need to be warned. These creatures normally stay in very, very deep water, and there's only a few incidents of human interaction. For the common person, they generally pose no threat. While extremely intelligent, they have not shown the ability to create tools only to use those which humans have made. It is unlikely that they only go after humans when they are unable to find sufficient food sources in their own environments. We believe them to be just another species of giant squid, albeit an extremely intelligent one. I cannot understand why our government is hiding their existence, as they are just natural sea predators like sharks and orcas, whales. But whatever the reason, remember this: humans are not the top predator in the deep ocean. Naturally, NASA has chosen to avoid further exploration of the deep sea for now, to avoid contact with these creatures until the proper measures are put into place. Yes, all right, there are things in the oceans that we are just now discovering, and obviously there have been people in certain high positions, again, a part of the control mechanism, the ruling class, whatever you want to call them. They have just decided that the plebes do not need to know this information, until they decide that this information should be released. But, God, I was going to say something else, but I thought I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. I've mentioned this before, talking about some of these areas deep underwater, that leads to their domain. I've mentioned this before, that there are brine lakes at the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico. And, and other areas, right? Briny, very, very salty water, right? Brine lakes at the bottom of the ocean. And we've had submarines that tried to enter into these brine lakes, but were unable to, because it was the buoyancy. It was too, it wouldn't, the salt content wouldn't allow them to penetrate the lakes. But again, if these crafts that we see flying around, right, they're quote unquote transmedium, they can fly through any environment, right? Space, air, water, right? They most likely can also, right, get to those brine lakes. So I think those brine lakes are the entrances to their worlds. And also, here on the surface of the planet, right? There was that one video that I posted a couple months ago where this guy has speculated that some of the Bigfoots are actually the guardians, right? To the underworlds. They basically guard the entrances, the surface, right? Entrances to these underground domains that are occupied, again, by these other species. And, like you said, we aren't the only species on the planet, but, recently it's become pretty obvious that, we aren't even the dominant species on the planet. That there are other highly advanced beings, sentient beings. Some look like humans, others not so much. But anyways, thank you so much. Wow, this video went an hour. Thank you so much for making it to the end. If you appreciate the time and effort that I put into bringing these videos to you, please give this video a like. Please share this video. And more importantly, please subscribe. Really helps me out with the algorithms. And I'll continue to bring back more. Until next time, take care.